Con on the Monday live stream. What's up, Jeromes? Hope you had a great, wonderful, prosperous weekend. Hopefully you spent some time with family and friends. You know, if your state allows it. Man. Anyways, we're here to provide an hour, but really more like 45 minutes or 52 minutes of hashtag Vikings content. We got some Q&As, live stream, light it up. Let's get this thing going. Love it on a Monday. If you want to support the work, join box, become a monthly or platinum drum, do that up. Also, so it's 11 a.m. Central Time every single weekday. The time does not change. So King Dabble, Mel Pinkney, Reed. That's all. It's not like time changed. Yeah. But good times had by all. So live chat, awesome. See, Anthony Harris resigned. Just did a video on that. Well, not resigned, signed his franchise tag. But I hope they are able to sign him long term. I understand that it's a lot of money to be tied up in two safety spots, but if you think about defensive backs as a whole, I mean, Mike Hughes is a couple years away from an extension if they want to keep him. Same thing with Holton Hill. So they are going super cheap on cornerback. It's going to be primarily young guys, rookies coming in. So if you look at spending on the defensive back unit as a whole, who cares if you're paying two safeties? It'd be the same if you're paying one safety, one cornerback, big time money, or one safety, two cornerbacks, big time money. So it sort of evens itself out, even though, yeah, Zimmer talking those safety position. Well, it's not one of the more important positions. Shut up, Zim. Shut your face, man. We got some Q&A. Love it. Let's get this thing going. So first up, live stream clips. Top 3 Super Bowl teams, NFC and AFC. By the way, I'm been here for a while, and thanks for providing me with Vikings news. Thank you for coming along, man. So top three teams in each conference. I'm guessing what that means. So AFC, Chiefs, Ravens. Actually, let's pull up our. How did we do this before? So ODS. So our standings predictions. This got a hoot. All right, so so we got the Dolphins in the 3 seed. Probably not. I would say as of right now. Actually, let's bring up our power rankings. We just did that video. So ODS power rankings. There we go. I'm sure this one's going to get a very strong reaction. So right now, Chiefs, Ravens, Colts. Pretty standard. NFC, Vikings, Bucks, Saints. Yeah, we'll take that. Next up is Andy's Evil Twin. That Friday live stream, you had Diamond Dallas Page on the thumbnail. We had him on there. Yo, it's me, DDP, best catchphrase in wrestling. I feel like it's a little bit too wordy. Like DDP was great. Diamond Dallas Page. Well, I mean, we sort of have to go with Ric Flair, woo, or the Randy Savage, oh yeah. Yeah, I feel like the ones that are just super simple and easy to recognize, I think those are the best. I mean, some of the Rock's lines are great. Smell what the Rock's cooking, that whole thing. Jabroni, just bring a Jabroni back into style. For that, we thank him. That's about it. Rohan Kumar. Top 5 picks in the 2021 draft for the teams that go to stat prediction for starting wide receivers. So we'll go with the stat for wide receivers. I'm going to go Thielen, 88, 13, 20, and 7. Jefferson, 55, 700, 4. BC, 36, 405. And maybe 3. There you go. Let's see here. Let's look at so we did our top draft order again. So Patriots 1, that'd be Trevor Lawrence. Lions 2. Ooh, that might be Trey Lance. At 2. 3, the Bears. Bears. Like, do they go Justin Fields there? Undo Trois. Quarterback. That would make sense. I think the Texans will probably trade out of this, or they take Jamar Chase. It would be great. Giants. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, because I forgot the Jaguars have the Rams' number 1 pick. Man, the Giants will be tough because Gettleman does not trade out of picks. Go back and look at his draft history. It's clockwork. Gettleman does not trade. So they just took Andrew Thomas last year, number one. And also they have Matt Part, who's a stud. But I don't think they can pass up Penei Sewell from Oregon, who's just an absolute beast, potential generation left tackle. So do they do that, move Andrew Thomas to right tackle, or just play Sewell at right tackle? I don't know. It sucks that they missed out on Chase. I mean, Texans, maybe they go Sewell. They have Tunsil left tackle, right tackle. It's like, what are you going to do? The kid from Northern Illinois from 2 years ago, Max Sharping, or Titus Howard. Hell, maybe the Texans go Penei Sewell. Play him a right tackle. Yeah. And then the Jaguars go Rashad Bateman. Next up is Aaron Rodgers, BFF and lover. Was watching some boxing documentaries, and George Foreman was a brr, man. Also, Chuck Foreman deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Agree on Chuck. BFR, Chuck Foreman. Chuck, when he's in town, he goes to my Lifetime Fitness, which is funny. All right, so Chuck. See, for the Hall of Fame, I always look at it's either long-term value or peak value, right? And so long-term value is a guy like Frank Gore, great compiler, and there is a lot of skill that takes to be able to just suit up every single year. Where peak value is looking like Marshawn Lynch, where a couple of years Marshawn Lynch was the baddest man on the planet. Same thing with Chuck Foreman. I mean, Chuck, he really was like the dual threat running back before it was fashionable. Like, he led the league in receptions in 1975, which is absolutely insane. By the way, that 75 Vikings team, like a lot of old-time codgers would tell you, that was the best Vikings team ever, including the Super Bowl teams, including 98, 09, 2017. And this was the Drew Pearson push-off team. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. So you have to take all these stats with a grain of salt, because this was back when there's 14 games. So you're looking at his stats. He barely topped 1,000 yards 3 seasons in a row. Yeah, 14 games. Geniuses. So the fact that he did this, he had he had 21 total touchdowns in 1975. 5-time Pro Bowler, was just, great peak value. So he's up there in terms of Marshawn Lynch, because there was a stretch of best running backs in the league. It's just really, really good. So yeah, I agree on Chuck Foreman. What was the other question? George Foreman was a dude back in the day. Like, George Foreman, before he became the grill guy, before he had that short-lived TV show. Hold on. George Foreman TV show. Yeah, he had a sitcom. God, where do we find it? The George Foreman Grill, George Foreman. Yeah, come on. George Foreman sitcom. I think it was ABC. All right, here we go. George, 1993 TV series. 1 season, 10 episodes. Not so much. A retired boxer takes care of his troubled children. All the kids weren't named George because they thought that would be too confusing. Yeah, it was on ABC. I want to say this is part of TGIF. Man. Tony Danza was co-producer, so that makes sense. Yeah, George Foreman, back in the day, was a bad. We're like talking about George Foreman with hair, with the mustache, before he was the loquacious dude who sells grills that every college kid had. I mean, dude was just he got after it. Just really, really good. And before, he was the bald head, pot belly guy. I mean, 40-0, and then gets knocked out by Muhammad Ali in Zaire. Just Ali Boombaye. Oh, man. He's just a badass dude. Knock out Joe Frazier. God damn. Just a dude. Also, it's funny how boxing, like, they don't want to say they serve them tomato cans, but you're able to build up a pretty impressive record, like, through not a lot of risk. And then you start getting into some of the big time fights. Holyfield in 91. Tommy Morrison. God, I remember Tommy Morrison. He was the dude in Rocky 5. I mean, just look at that jabroni. And then age 48, almost 49 in 97, Shannon Briggs. Wow. Oh, I forgot it'd be Michael Moorer. Man. Hey, man. Yeah, George Foreman was a dude back in the day. Like, just badass savage. Man. Zach Ballas, one of the videos on your other channel had post-accident in the title. What happened? So I was in a car accident about 3 years ago. Just a minor fender bender. Just got rear-ended. And it threw like my back and neck through a tizzy, but perfectly fine now. Was deadlifting. So I never crested 400. My best was 385. And I was working my way back up. I got up to, I believe, 350, but then, the Rona. Sort of shut everything down. Nathaniel Coffin. What do you think about Dalvin's extension? How much will it cost and the chances he stays long term? Also, how Anthony Harris' contract fits into this as an extension or blah, blah, blah. So I've said it here. I want to extend Dalvin, except he should not accept what I think the Vikings should offer him, nor should I think the Vikings offer him top tier like Zeke and McCaffrey money. So sort of a catch-22. Anthony Harris contract. So Anthony Harris right now, that 11.44 flat on the 2020 cap. So if they do extend Harris long term, which would be great, that does free up some more money for a potential Dalvin extension, and just getting rid of Reef would help everyone involved. Isaac Ruprecht. What 2020 Vikings draft pick will be surprisingly good? Kenny Willekes. Kenny Willekes, who consensus-wise should have been a fourth or fifth round pick. Some places even have a third rounder, but just a highly productive dude in the Big Ten. Great edge rusher. And what's your favorite pizza place in the Twin Cities? So love Black Sheep. Well, mainly make our own, but yeah, we've been over this. Black Sheep is great. Red Savoy, Chanticleer is good. I know that some people are down on them, but I really like Pizza Luce. Pizza Luce is great for like a local chain. There you go. Abdi, if the Vikings weren't interested in Cousins and Keenum, would our 2018 draft class look the same, assuming Teddy and Sam would compete for the starting job? I think they would have taken Lamar Jackson. I think they would have taken Lamar Jackson at 30, because that was the year they took Mike Hughes at 30. Let's go. Just imagine Lamar Jackson, like, if Zimmer would have accepted and bought into and completely catered the offense to what Lamar Jackson does. Well, like, if they tried to put Lamar Jackson in just like a standard West Coast offense, probably not great. But if they fully bought into the simplified college offense, a lot of RPOs, a lot of read options, a lot of inverted veers, I mean, it would have, baby. I Goddard one. Name a couple players we should never have let go apart from Kyle, Jerome, Ezekiel Sluter, but I'm thinking in terms of trades or through being a cap casualty. Guys we shouldn't have let go. I don't know. There's not really anyone that I can think of in recent memory besides Teddy. I mean, Weatherly, maybe I think he'll have a nice little career in Carolina. But in terms of guys the Vikings let go, I mean, they usually don't let anyone who's been homegrown that just goes and has a great career elsewhere, right? I guess Sheldon, except he was a 1-year rental. Yeah, I can't really think of everyone on top of that besides Teddy, Sheldon, that just really regret letting go. Donald Penn. I guess, does he count? Because he came to the league with the Vikings. Sean 101. Who's your favorite quarterback who never played for the Vikings ever? All right, so favorite quarterback who never played for the Vikings. I like Marino. Yeah, there's just as much as I yell about Nate Stanley being a immobile stick in the mud with a strong arm. Like Dan Marino. Well, Dan Marino was accurate as hell. So Marino just back there, run his 8-second 40 with his cadence. But also Marino, he had one of the quickest releases in the NFL. So not only did he quite possibly have the strongest arm ever. All right, let's look back. PFR Dan Marino. But he was throwing for ridiculous numbers before ridiculous numbers were the norm. I mean, just look at this redonkulousness. He led the league in passing 5 seasons. Also, he led the league in attempts five times as well. That's just ridiculous. Plus, also, like, his career completion percentage is not great. It is not great. It's below 60. Also, like, he's been up there with interceptions, man. But so his second year in the league, when he set the all-time passing record, I mean, that stood for 30 years, 25 years, somewhere in there before, I believe Peyton broke it. Single season passing record. Single yards. Yeah, so Peyton broke it in 30. Drew Brees broke it in 2011. Same thing with Tom Brady. All right, and then Dan Marino. All right, so Dan Marino, setting this in 84, was not broken until 2011 by Tom Brady and Drew Brees. They both broke it. Yeah, but just look out. All right, so what was the original record? So 84, so we're looking for a 1. So Dan Fouts was 4,800 yards in 1981, and then Marino just breaks it, shatters it. And he set that mark for decades. It's just hilarious. So, yeah, Dan Fouts. Yeah, Dan Fouts, Air Coryell. I mean, but Dan Marino was just legit great. I mean, the 48 touchdowns in a season, that stood for a number of years. Marino's a bad man. Like, the whole Dan Marino potentially coming out of retirement for the 2000 Vikes. I mean, even though the Vikings had Dante, that would have been something to see. Although Marino's ankle and foot, I mean, he just had so many issues. Like, you thought that Dan Marino was immobile before, but then he was just like a corpse at that point. But he could still throw it. Abza Abdi. So I'd say Marino or Brady. Abza Abdi, what's your take on the movie The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith? I think it's a great movie. The scene where he gets a job at the end, and we're like, better get another tire, and we'll see you Monday, okay? And then he's like, thank you. And then he gets out into the crowd and just like, there's just something about overcoming long odds and fulfilling a goal that you've set, a long time before, and then you work your ass off and get there. There's just something great about it, right? Also, he's improving the life of his kid. It's awesome. It's great. The movie's awesome. Brady Miller. Thoughts on the new Rooney Rule being proposed? I think it's stupid. You should be hired on your ability, not ethnicity. All right, so he's talking about the potentially, if you hire a African-American head coach or minority head coach, your third-round pick gets bumped up 6 spots. If you hire a minority general manager, it gets bumped up 10. Now, I think that it's a good thought process, but also I don't think these draconian measures will fly. I just really don't. Also, I don't think they'll hold up in a court of law because, I mean, the rule on itself is discriminatory. But I think what it is teams and coaches and executives and staff need to start hiring more African-American or more minority scouts and assistant coaches. That's what it is. Because the reason why there's very few African-American or minority head coaches in general is that they're not getting coordinator jobs. They're not getting high-level assistant jobs. So I think that it's going to have to be a long-term answer. Now, I don't think that this is a great solution, because if you're you're an African-American coach. So you work your ass off, and you start off at a grad assistant at your alma mater. Then you work your way up as an offensive quality control coach, getting coffee, cutting up film, and then you're a position coach, and then you become a coordinator, and then you finally get hired as a head coaching job, and then they point as you being an affirmative action hire. They're like, oh, they want to improve their draft stock. So I think that's stupid. Also, I think it's very demeaning for men of merit who work their ass and work their way up. I mean, look at Mike Tomlin. I mean, Mike Tomlin gets fired in Pittsburgh. He gets hired right away. He's out of work for 2 seconds. He's out of work for less time than Andy Reid was for like the 2 days he was out of work. So I think it really is demeaning and degrading for the people of merit who actually work their way up. But I think there does have to be more opportunity for people to prove that they do have the merit to do that. So I actually don't think it should be a top-down thing. So I actually think that the Rooney Rule is a sham. Teams get their way around it, whatever. But I think it needs to start from the bottom. So I think there does need to be more spots for minority assistant coaches, minority scouts who want to work there on the GM side as well, working their way up as area scouts, assistant scouts, so eventually working their way up to player development, VPs of pro scouting, college scouting, etc. So I think that's where it has to start. It can't start from the top. It has to start from the bottom. Mr. Popo, who you got? Oh, by the way, where's the Asian head coaches, huh? Where's the uproar for that? And don't give me, Norm Chow was a head coach in college. Get out of here. Mr. Popo, who you got to start your team? Brandon Weeden or Colt McCoy? Good thing no team had both of them at the same time. Sarcasm, LOL. I take Colt McCoy because he's younger and better. I mean, Brandon Weeden, God. Not only was he 30, but also he came from an air raid system, right? And air raid quarterbacks are fine. They just have to be able to transition into some of the modern pro concepts and verbiage. So when Brandon Weeden was on Gruden's QB camp, he was talking about just an air raid play called 6, right? Pretty standard. Was part of Mike Leach's playbook. I mean, Graham Harrell, Michael Crabtree. That big win, Texas Tech at Texas, was on 6, or was it Texas at Texas A&M? Doesn't matter. But yeah, basically what it is, it's in all verts, right? And then Brandon Weeden broke that down. It's like 6. And then, Gruden trying to break down Yankee right, YX cross, Z shallow, blah, 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 blah. And then Brandon Weeden's like, well, this is 6. It's just funny, man. John Johnson. Oh, also, let us know where you're watching from. We'll give a couple of shouts there. John Johnson, I think you're doing great work. Who's your top 5 favorite players currently or in the past that aren't on the Vikings? Straight out of Stewartville, Skull Vikes. Stewartville, Burb of Rochester, Med City. What's going on? It's here. So top 5 favorite players of all time that aren't Vikings. So currently, we'll go Pat Mahomes, Aaron Donald, JJ. I just really like JJ Watt. JJ Watt. Tom Brady, guess to throw in there. And Lamar Jackson. I mean, we'll just play the hits. Top 5 favorite non-Vikings of all time. Marino, Barry Sanders, I want to say Julius Peppers, except I can't because he was a Packer. So take that one back. I want to say Percy Harvin, except he was a Viking too. God, I want to say Hester, except I can't. All right, Bruce Smith, Marshawn Lynch, and Larry Fitzgerald. Boom, nailed it. Kyle Rippentrop. Did Harris' extension fall through, in your opinion? Did Dalvin's? No, I think that extension is still potentially on the table for Harris. He's got about 2 months to do it. July 15th is the deadline. I think they're working on Dalvin, but yeah, I think that bridge may be too far to gap. Aaron Rodgers, BFF, and Lover. What are some Super Bowl matchups that we didn't get to see, like a what-if scenario? Vikings versus Broncos. So 98 Vikings, Broncos, Patriots, Packers 07, Brady Favre. Yeah, that would take some time to think. But yeah, I think Vikings Broncos 98 would have been phenomenal because the Broncos would have, they've been going for 2 in a row. Oh, the Vikings Ravens in 2000, that would have been a bloodbath. The Ravens would have beat the shit out of the Vikings. It would not have been pretty. Yeah. Jack Ziski. Do you think Cameron Dantzler or Troy Dye will be more impactful in their rookie year? I think Dantzler. Dye will be special teams only, but Dantzler, I think he could work his way onto the field along with Holton Hill. All right. A couple shout-outs. Zach Ballas, No-Co. Devin Toft, Santa Monica, California, Jelly. Travis Flake, what's up? Johnny Purple Philly, what? Aklin 14. from Palestine. Wait, no, Palestine, Texas, or like Palestine, Palestine. Preacher Paul, hauling it for all y'all. Spokane, Washington. What's up? Johnny Purple apparently is from all over. Purple Rain, Wausau, Wisconsin. Skull Vikes from the prairies, a.k.a. the steppes. That's right. Oh, Charles Kroll, Lawrence Taylor. Yeah. And Logan DeGraff, Rapone, California. Sean Caron, Crystal Falls, Michigan. What is up? What's going on? You guys are the best. Aren't you guys? Just like I like our core of daily viewers who watch it live. People who catch it on demand. Yeah, aight. Fully understand. Boom. Next up is AJ Barnes. How upset were you when Blair Walsh mixed that field goal in overtime against Seattle in 2015? Such a talented group. Yeah, I'm upset because I think that the Vikings. So they would have gone to Arizona. I think they could have took care of business because that was the year that Arizona was really good, and they had lost that really close Thursday night game. Like they had the ball and were marching, except then it was Dwight Freeney against Matt Khalil, as well as Norv called like a 17-step drop play. I don't think they had any timeouts, so good on you, Norv. But yeah, I think the Vikings could beat Arizona, and then who knows what happens with Carolina. But yeah, that one, it sucked, but also we gone over this before. My entire reaction when that happens, like, because yeah. Being a Vikings fan, what else do you expect? I got her one. I was watching an NFL film about the 10 most snake-bitten teams ever. Do you think this looks about right? Only do top 5. Browns, Vikings, Bengals, Eagles. This is before they won Super Bowl. Oilers. Yeah, Bengals for sure. Because the Bengals, man, all right, so they had Sam Weish, who was a disciple of Bill Walsh. So they basically ran the same offense. They went to 2 Super Bowls, lost both of them. It's kind of rough. Also, they had one won, except then Montana had the drive, the one that ended up with the touchdown to Taylor. I think that was the one that was in the the Silver Dome up in Detroit. Pretty sure that was it. Wiki Silver Dome Super Bowl. All right, so Super Bowl 16. Yep, there you go. Niners versus Bengals. Yeah, that was the one where San Francisco just right at the end. Bow! No big deal. Browns are up there too, because the Browns like with Brian Sipe and Ozzie Newsome, the Cardiac Kids in the 80s, they had some really good teams. They just couldn't beat the Broncos because you had the Ernest Biner fumble, and then you had the drive where they just gave up this John Elway drive at home, by the way. And then also they had Belichick, and then they moved the team. Belichick would have had all the success that he had the Patriots in Cleveland. I have no doubts about that. But then they just moved the team. Vikings, definitely. Yeah, Eagles before they won the Super Bowl. I guess like Donovan Fat-Nab. Yeah, they lost that Super Bowl against the Patriots because they couldn't run the 2-minute offense because McNabb had bad cardio. Oilers for sure. Oilers got screwed in Pittsburgh. Oilers screwed Pittsburgh. I believe it was the AFC title game, and they got hosed by one of the Steelers. I believe they got screwed by one of the worst calls in NFL history because I think was it Renfro? Renfrew. Whatever. You'll just take my word for it. I can't find it. Sports Reactive 53. Should the Vikings get new uniforms, and if so, what should they look like? No. Well, yes, but only if the throwback uniforms. Akelin 14. Who scored the first ever touchdown at US Bank Stadium? Was it Darrell Presley? Oh, we're talking about the first real one. I don't know. So that would be BFR 2016 Vikings Saints. So that Monday night game. Actually, no, that wouldn't be it either. PFR 2016 Vikings. right, so on the road. So Green Bay was the first game. Historic U.S. Bank Stadium. Kyle Rudolph from Sam Bradford. There you go. Boom. Next up is NFL set to reopen Tuesday. Let's go. Yep. It's great that some facilities are reopening, but also I like that the NFL is like, hey, we can't let coaches in until everyone's in because everything has to be equal. And it's like Bill O'Brien could go in as GM and head coach right now, and it won't make a hill of difference. End of roster projection, Clark or Boyd? Clark. Your pick versus Cole. That pick versus Metellus. I don't understand the question. I think Metellus makes it in over Cole. Charlie Boltman. Who is a better NFL story, Tom Brady or Kurt Warner? Who misses worse? Gary Anderson, Ray Finkel, or Scott Norwood? Anderson misses the worst. Actually, that Norwood miss is pretty bad, too. I mean, Norwood had been good for the entire season. Plus, that 47-yarder on grass, that's not a guarantee. But I guess Finkel would be the worst. Although, laces out, Dan. Kurt Warner has a better story than Tom Brady. Because, I mean, Tom Brady, highly regarded recruit, went to one of the most storied football schools in the country, did great, beat Alabama in the Orange Bowl, and then just fell because teams overlooked and overthought him, right? Kurt Warner went to Northern Iowa, which they basically play in an arena league, right? Then actually played in the actual arena league. Stock shows at Hy-Vee, Great Midwest and Company. Actually, Kurt Warner movie's coming out, right? Underdog, the Kurt Warner story. Like, is this actually happening? Who plays Kurt Warner? Release date, December 10th, 2021. Okay, so that's next year. So they haven't even casted this yet. Who plays Kurt? Has this even been cast yet? Actually, that's what we should do the offseason. We should cast movies. All right, so Kurt Warner. Let's look at Kurt Warner. So you need some, because how old, he was like relatively, he was like mid to late 20s. All right, so we need someone who looks like this. All right, who could pull this off? See, Ryan Reynolds, maybe. Except, is he too big for this movie? I don't think this is going to be a high-budget movie at all. Also, is Ryan Reynolds like 40? He could pass. He could pass for Kurt Warner. Nah. There we go. That's not bad. All right. Try Boltman again. In your opinion, was the most underrated Super Bowl performance of all time? Personally, I think Santonio was the Cardinals' best. Oh, in that same Super Bowl. So, PFR, Cardinals. Oh, speaking of Kurt Warner, Steelers, Super Bowl. So, Larry Fitzgerald, his performance gets overlooked because they lost. But, I mean, Larry Fitzgerald was a bad man the entire postseason. And in the Super Bowl, 7 for a 59-yard touchdown reception, blah, blah, blah. So I would put Larry Fitzgerald's Super Bowl performance up there. Also, people forget in this game, like, Arizona had a shot. So, 69. Yeah, so they had 42 seconds left after the Santonio Holmes touchdown. And they had a shot from the Pittsburgh 44 at a Hail Mary, 15 seconds left. There you go. And also, there should have been an excessive celebration penalty enforced on the Santonio Holmes touchdown. So Pittsburgh should have been kicking off from their 15. And that would have gave the Cardinals better field position. And this entire thing, like, sucks. I mean, this just sucks. But yeah, Larry Fitzgerald, man, especially that 64-yard touchdown that Fitz had with 2:47 left in the Super Bowl. Like, that should have been his MVP moment. Larry Fitzgerald should have been Super Bowl MVP if Santonio Holmes was a quarter inch shorter. That's how it works. Chip Diamond. How many subs do you think you'll have by the end of 2020 or hope to have? I don't know. Make it to 30? 30 would be pretty sweet. Head coach. What do you think about the Baltimore Ravens roster? I think it's studly. Ravens are... It's just so annoying that the Ravens, every single year, in good cap shape, and just field a very solid team just every single year. Plus, they got Lamar Jackson on his rookie deal, great competitive advantage in NFL. Yeah, so across the offensive line, they had Brendison. It's annoying. So wide receivers. So they needed some wide receiver help. I mean, Willie Snead ain't it, but they got Hollywood Brown, first-round pick from last year. Miles Boykin, third-rounder from the year before as well. Devin DuVernay they picked up, as well as James Prochet, who's off screen. It's fine. Up front, I mean, they probably have the best tackle combo in the league in Orlando Brown Jr. and Ronnie Stanley, who's up there being one of the best centers, left tackles in the league. Matt Skura at center, sure. That running back room is deep, too. I mean, also Justice Hill was a fourth rounder last year out of, I believe it's Oklahoma State. I like him a lot. Plus they add Derek Wolfe up front. They had Matabuke. God. Matabuke, plus I get Patrick Queen just falls to them in the first round. It's like no big deal. McPhee still doing. I forgot about Calais Campbell. B. Will. I mean, even though they lost Michael Pierce, they just reloaded. I mean, how ridiculous. Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters, Earl Thomas. God damn it. Earl Thomas the train. Yeah. Oh, Matt Judon is still chilling. Just completely redonkulous what the Ravens got going on. It's just not fair. Stupid Ravens. Chip Diamond, what Netflix series do you suggest or watch? Oh, let's see right now. Actually, we're allowed to do this. Netflix. Bring up my Netflix queue. All right, so what are we watching right now? To be honest, I haven't really found a TV show that I can sink my teeth into as of late. But also, this is what the wife has been watching. So Gilmore Girls for the 17th time. She started Outer Banks. Oh, she watched Too Hot to Handle, which is just like the most jabroni, just like terrible whatever one. Turn. I like the first season of Turn. It's one about the Revolutionary War, Washington spies. It was intriguing. Watched The Office for like the 17th time in a row. Let's see. Watch Extraction. Oh, in terms of just mindless action movies, Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen, and Angel Has Fallen. It's pretty good. Narcos is great. I tried to watch The Crown. Like the first season was good. The rest of it was just sort of eh. It actually happens a lot to me where watch one season, it's great. Oh, The Death of Stalin is phenomenal. Watched that a couple times. Glorious Bastards is one of my all-time favorite movies. I think it's my favorite. Tarantino movie. And there you go. What's our suggestions? Nah, it doesn't matter. All right. Let's see here. Griffin Creer. Your thoughts on Anthony Harris franchise tender? Did the video. I think it's good. Now work out a long-term deal. Jake Simmons. Do you think we should trade anyone for more picks this year? If so, and why? Also, what do you think the Vikings' best all-time D line would look like? Trade? No. Best all-time D line. So Daniil, Jared Allen on the edges, and Alan Page and John Randall inside. Oof. Even though Alan Page was like a 260-pound defensive tackle back in the day. That's pretty damn good. And you're leaving out Hall of Famer Carl Eller, and you're leaving out Jim Marshall, who should be in the Hall of Fame, and you're leaving out Keith Millard. Wow. I mean, the Vikings are... And you're leaving out Hall of Famer Chris Dolman. God, would you go Dolman over Daniil? I think you might have to, just because of the track record. Or Eller over Daniil. Man, that's tough. It really is tough. Brett Vuvuzelas. Nate Stanley reminds me of Josh Allen, who is not accurate when he throws deep. But other than that, he's really good. Sam Maros. Is Barr going to be a big-time player anytime soon? I think he's always been a big-time player. He has a position that was created for him, specifically. I think he's great with what Zimmer asked him to do. But, yeah. Sure. Lawrence Hammond. Thoughts on... so we talked about that. Abza Abdi. Would you rather move objects with your mind or draft Trevor Lawrence? Move objects with your mind. I would full on prefer telekinesis over drafting Trevor Lawrence, who's just going to age out after 15 years anyway. So just, it'd be great. Jake Lagavin, Andy, love the show. Working in the healthcare field as a nurse right now is stressful, but your videos give myself and others an hour break from it all each and every day. Thank you. Hey, thank you for being a frontline worker, man. Rockstar. My question for you: have you seen Bleacher Report's newest article crowning each division's biggest offseason winner? The winner, according to the article, was Detroit. Thoughts? Bleacher Report division offseason winner. Nuke. What's going on? Let's see. North. I like that they got. All right. So what? Lions. Their active free agency: Danny Shelton, Jamie Collins, Duron Harmon, Desmond Trufant, and drafted Akuda. I mean, sure, but really? Wow. God, it's rough. That's a very stupid take. So he's saying, by letting Slay go, replacing him with the corpse of Desmond Trufant, drafting Jeff Okudah, which, congratulations, going 3-12-1 allows you to draft a third overall. And then, you added DeAndre Swift. Great. You had Theo Riddick for a number of years. DeAndre Swift is a poor man's version of Theo Riddick. Good luck with all that. Okay. You added Danny Shelton. So you win the offseason. Please. Child, please. Get the hell out of here. Michael Pierce is 10 times the player that Shelton is. So it's moronic. But good question, Jake. Thank you for doing what you do. Preacher Paul, all in for all ya. Hola, Jeromes. Much needed downtime to recharge batteries, as I say. Enjoy catching up on demand as well as live. Great show as well, Andy. Took 2 whole days off in a row. Rare, rested, and ready to go. Back in the shiz. Let's get it going. Schlars. Trying to fix the stream. There we go. Schlars. How big of an impact do you think Chris Boyd will have this season? I don't know. I did like what we saw from him in spurts last year. 7th round pick out of Texas. I think he's going to be in some deep competition with Harrison Hand, with Neville Clark, with Mark Fields. So I don't think it's a guarantee that he makes a roster, but I did like what he saw from him in spurts last year. Brady Miller. I know you always have underdogs that you think are going to be great, like BC, Afadi, Sluter. Name past your last name, Jeromes, from being up surprisingly good. Well, Weatherly. Love BC, love Afadi. Loved Audie Cole back in the day. Does that one count? Who else? Oh, Jerick McKinnon, except injury bug. Does Thielen count? Because I was, even before he started breaking on 2016, I was like, that guy from a really crappy NSIC school that goes by a different name now. He's pretty good. Detroit Lakes enthusiast. Anthony Harris was going to be good. Jerome Curse is going to be good. That's about it. Tristan, Kyle Sluter did an interview with Realistic Randy a few months back, and apparently he didn't give him enough reps. For sure. Yeah, just wasn't given the time of day. What can you do? Mr. Popo, what's your favorite kind of tamales? I'm just kind of a traditionalist. Just like straight up corn. No muss, no fuss. There you go. Hunter Williams, out of the Twins, Vikings, Wild, and the T-Wolves, who has the best chance to give us a championship in the near future? Guess you could say the Twins, since, well, Twins just need to add pitching. I'd say the Vikings, because I kind of have to, but also the Twins. Max Callenberg, now that things are slowly reopening, you think Kirk and the wide receivers will get together? Yeah, they'll get together and then not invite Treadwell like last time. Even though it's ironic because Kirk has his get-togethers in Atlanta. Carnivus Mustachio the third. Will you grow another mustache as a part of the next milestone in subscribers? The Jeromes would enjoy seeing 70s porn star Andy. It's a little rough. I don't think people want that. Omar Max, who would you take in the first round next year? Rashad Bateman or Trey Lance? Trey Lance, always go with the quarterback. Always, 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 always. Jack Oberg, who's your favorite player on the Vikings skull? Daniil. Stanley Maros, who'd win a fight? Rambo or Rocky? No weapons allowed. Well, if it's just I would say Rambo, because Rambo schooled in jiu-jitsu and hand-to-hand combat. Rocky can just box. I mean, you saw that in Rocky 3 when he has that showdown with Hulk Hogan, right? So Rocky, he can bounce, he can box. It's a combat sport, but it's a very specific skill. So Rambo will just take it to the ground. He'll choke out Rocky, and it'll be over. Plop 45, plop. Do a Michael Pierce film room. Will do. Husgamer 15, what should the Wild change their name to? North Stars. Zach Ballas, have you seen NBC's The Blacklist? Saw a couple episodes. James Spader is always good. Like, some people are very polarized on Robert California on The Office. I thought he was great. I thought he was just really like low-key funny. The Blacklist is good for like network television, hour-long thriller shows. Like, it's good, but yeah. Seth B. Herman. What if we replace Elfline with someone better in pass protection, but Dalvin suffers because of it? Do you think that's why they kept him in? He's a pretty decent run blocker. Well, I don't think it's necessarily a binary trade-off like that. Like, you can find someone who's better in pass protection who is just as good or even better in the run game as well. Clinkus, what do you think is the greatest myth in football besides hashtag cap is a myth? That it isn't scripted? Stanley Maros. If the skilled players on Vikings were movies, what movie would they each be? Man, we'd have to really think about that one. Let's see here. Treadwell will be failure to launch. Cousins, the 40-year-old virgin. Dalvin. God, what would Dalvin be? Unbreakable. Thielen. Wonder Boys. I've actually never even seen that movie. I just know of it. So it's got Dennis Quaid and Topher Grace. And I only know about the movie because in Ocean's 12, when Topher Grace is playing Topher Grace, and he's like, dude, I totally phoned in that Dennis Quaid movie. That was the one. Actually, wait, is that the one? I may be completely just off base. No, so Wonder Boys is Michael Douglas and Michael Douglas and Tobey Maguire. All right, so Topher Grace and Dennis Quaid movie. In Good Company. There you go. That was the one he phoned in. Boom. Yeah, we'd have to think about that one. Cyberbully123. Got a Fire Stick and a flat screen able to watch on the 75-incher now. It's life-changing. I'm never going to do another game again. I don't know if you'll be allowed to anyway. Can you show us what your TV and desk set looks like when you watch games? Yeah, we'll do a studio tour video at some point this offseason. Caden, you mentioned car insurance in your Mannion video. Do you mean Derek Carr insurance? Mono Casual. Am I the only one thinking Kevin Stefanski looked lost at times as our OC and is in way over his head with the head coach job Cleveland with expectations, blah, blah, blah? Yes, he's going to be great. Zach Hazlius, can you name the last 10 Viking starting quarterbacks? All right, so Cousins. Wait, does Mannion count? Cousins, Mannion, Keenum, Bradford, Sean Hill, Teddy, Ponder, Castle, McNabb, and Joe Webb. I think that'd be the last 10. Let's look. Wiki list of Vikings starting QBs, because I think we got it. I think we nailed it. No, it's not what we want. All right, so we said Mannion, Cousins, Bradford, Keenum, Sean Hill. That's a tricky one. Teddy, Ponder, Castle. Oh, we forgot Josh Freeman. Oh, no. Mama, no. But we did get Joe Webb. Yeah, so Joe Webb should be in here because he started the playoff game, but I guess they didn't count that one. Or, yeah, separate list down here. Joe Webb. Oh, no, Mama, no. How do we forget Josh Freeman? What's he up to nowadays? He's only 32. He's only 32 and hasn't played in the league since 2015. He's part of the Brooklyn Bolts. What league were they? Fall Experimental Football League. Oh, yeah, the FXFL. I forgot about that. What are the teams? The Brooklyn Bolts, the Florida Black Tips, the Hudson Valley Fort, Boston Brawlers, and Omaha Mammoths. Could you think of 5 more random places to put a team? Oh, Florida was a traveling team, too. Hudson Valley and Omaha. Omaha. Great. Next up is Bob Harlow. What's up, Anthony Harris? Tagged. Stay of the Morals. Backstreet Boys are in sync. I would say in sync just because they have Timberlake. Like in sync just basically rose up everyone. Also, Joey Fatone was in NSYNC because he's gone on to be like a TV presenter and stuff, right? Backstreet Boys, I mean, who's really come out of that? Like, who's done anything besides being in the Backstreet Boys? Yeah. Skull Vikes, who do you think will be in the Monday Night Football booth? Blah, blah, blah. Pat McAfee would be great. I don't think they'll hire him, though. I think they should just upgrade or elevate the Monday Night Football radio crew for Westward One. Kevin Harlan, Kurt Warner, easy game. Easy peasy, it's over. Julian Watron, could we just give Cook and Harris both an extension? Yes. Maybe cut Reef. Yes. Thunder Legend. Who do you think the biggest surprise will in terms of which player would be on the Vikes? I got Michael Pierce. Biggest surprise? Maybe Olabisi Johnson. Maybe Olabisi, year 2, just staves off the rookie Justin Jefferson, sort of keeps him on the bench, puts up a 1,000-yard season. Come on, nowhere. I would love it. Or Irv Smith just becomes a 1,000-yard tight end. No big deal. Charlie Boltman. Pick which group of skill players you want and arm yourself in a pickup game. Your all-time quarterback. Moss, Carter, Reed, Robert Griffin. Harrison, Dallas Clark, Reggie Wayne, Edge, Terrell Davis. Give me the Vikings. Vikings all day. Also, Robert Griffin's the only defensive player, so we got that going on for us, which is nice. Mustachio third. What is your favorite World War II movie not named Saving Private Ryan? Obsessed with World War II and all Netflix documentaries. Fury is really good. Well, it's a freaking tank movie, so it's great. See what else here. World War II. It's not a movie, but Band of Brothers is great. The Pacific is really good too. I don't think the Pacific gets the time of day just because it came after Band of Brothers, but Pacific is really, really good. Thin Red Line is good. A little bit more convoluted of a storyline. Letters from Iwo Jima. So Clint Eastwood did 2 World War II movies back to back simultaneously about the same battle for Iwo Jima. So Flags of Our Fathers is about the flag raising on Iwo Jima. And then also the Letters from Iwo Jima is from the Japanese side. I thought the Japanese side was way more interesting. It really was just like the doomed side of the Japanese, except they just go out like warriors and samurai and committing seppuku, just like whatever, just like a last stand, like they know they're gonna die. Just the fanaticism was just really, really interesting. Also, I'm Japanese, so there you go. So there you go. Tristan, actually, is there another? Enemy of the Gates is good. Actually, let's just look up a list of World War II movies. see. Since the Cold War. Man, how many lists are there? And Pearl Harbor was not historically accurate at all. And also, there's so many great Pearl Harbor stories. Why'd you have to make one up about Rafe and Jimmy or whatever the hell? Good old boys from the South. Get out of here. Valkyrie, I thought was really good. I liked Hearts War. Windtalkers was good, mainly because although it was a John Woo movie, so it was completely over top. But Windtalkers, so with Christian Slater get his head cut off, and plus he got peak Nicolas Cage, it was pretty good. Defiance, the one about the Polish Jewish brothers. They started a resistance army. Daniel Craig's in it. Leif Schreiber's in it. Jamie Bell's in it. It's a really good movie. Downfall. Dunkirk was okay. Like, it was a Christopher Nolan movie for sure, but I mean, it could have been a lot better. Let's see what else here. Flags of Our Fathers and Letters from Iwo Jima, just really good. Man, there's a lot of World War II movies. Does Inglourious Bastards count? Because, I mean, I'm in. I guess King's Speech is a World War II movie. Sure. Red Tails was good. Actually, basically any World War II movie I'm in. And of course, Fury. Fury is really, really good. Yeah. This could go on forever. But, see, last one. Tristan, I think the Vikings should trade for Josh Rosen. Worth to be an upgrade. I agree. Fully agree. Sean Mannion is not it. We just bitched about that today. So get all up on that. And that's it. Jeromes, thank you very much for coming along on the live stream. You guys are rock stars. Love it. And if you're catching us on demand, you're cool too. Yeah, all right. But subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Venmo, you know what to do. Support the work. Give us a follow on social media as well. Skull, production value.